Struggling to change your habits? What if I told you that tiny, almost invisible changes could completely transform your life without all the struggle and willpower? Hey, welcome to Lume. I'm super excited to break down James Clear's Atomic Habits, a book that's helped millions build habits that stick. In this video, we're diving into 5 powerful lessons that'll show you how to create real, lasting change by focusing on tiny habits. No overwhelm, no gimmicks, just simple ideas you can start using today. Asterisk, if you're ready to build habits that actually work and change your life. Keep watching. Let's dive in. Lesson 1. Focus on systems, not just goals. All right. Let's get into one of the biggest mindset shifts from Atomic Habits. Why you gotta stop obsessing over goals and start focusing on systems. Trust me, this changes everything. Most people say stuff like, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to write a book. Goals, goals, goals. But here's the thing. Goals are just the finish line, not the race itself. James Clear hits us with a truth bomb. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. That means, no matter how big or shiny your goal is, if your daily habits and routines the system aren't solid, you won't get there. What's a system, though? It's just the stuff you do every day to inch closer to that goal without thinking too hard. Like for a marathon runner, it's their daily runs. It's the meals they prep, the sleep they get, their stretching routine, not the medal at the end. Real talk? I've seen folks set crazy goals with mad hype, then flop hard because they didn't build a system. Motivation only lasts so long. Willpower? Even less. But systems? Systems are like an autopilot for success. Example time. Take Sarah. She wanted to lose weight for years. She'd try crash diets, crazy workout plans, but gave up every time. Then she flipped the script. Instead of I want to lose weight, she said, I'm someone who walks daily and drinks water instead of soda. She started with just a 10-minute walk after dinner. That was it. No pressure. Over weeks and months, that tiny habit turned into a lifestyle. And the weight loss followed without feeling like a grind. Another example, think about a student who wants to ace exams. Instead of setting get A's as a goal and stressing out, they build a system. Study 30 minutes a day, review notes weekly, and sleep well before exams. That's their system, and it works way better than cramming at the last minute. Why do systems win? Because they don't depend on motivation or inspiration, which can be flaky AF. Systems are habits that happen automatically. Once set up, they carry you forward even on your off days. Common mistakes, relying on willpower to push through tough moments. That's like trying to sprint with one leg, exhausting and unsustainable. Setting huge goals but not breaking them into small steps. It's like wanting to eat an entire pizza in one bite. Quick exercise for you. Pause the video and think what's one tiny system you can start today. Maybe reading one page, stretching for 5 minutes, or jotting down 3 priorities for tomorrow. Write it down, say it out loud, then do it. That's the first step to building unstoppable momentum. All right, this is just the start of why systems matter. Next, we'll talk about a game-changing idea, changing your identity to build habits that stick. Ready? Let's go. Lesson 2. Change your identity, not just your behavior. All right, here's where Atomic Habits drops some serious wisdom. You want to know the real secret sauce to sticking with habits? It's not just what you do, it's who you believe you are. Sounds simple, right? But this mindset shift is a total game changer. Think about this. How often have you said stuff like, I want to quit smoking or I want to get fit, but then ended up falling back into old habits? That's because you're focused on changing what you do, but not who you think you are. James Clear flips the script. Instead of saying, I want to lose weight, say I'm a healthy person. Instead of I want to write a book, say I'm a writer. Why does this matter? Because your brain is wired to keep your story consistent. If your actions don't match your identity, you'll feel that awkward, uncomfortable tension. Like you're being fake. And nobody likes feeling fake, right? When your habits align with your identity, they feel natural and automatic. Not like some forced chore. Real life vibes. Take Sarah from lesson 1. She didn't just change what she ate or how much she walked, she started telling herself, "I'm a healthy person." Suddenly, choosing salad over fries wasn't a struggle, it was just what healthy people do. Or think about someone who says, "I'm not a morning person." That's their identity. So every morning when the alarm rings, they hit snooze, because getting up early doesn't fit their story. But if they start saying, "I'm an early riser," that identity shift can change how they act. Fun fact, your identity isn't fixed, it's like a muscle you can train. The more you act in line with who you want to be, the stronger that identity becomes. Here's a little psychology for you. Our brains crave consistency. Changing your identity helps create a feedback loop. You do something small that fits your new identity, and that action reinforces your belief in yourself. That belief makes the next action easier. It's a cycle of winning.com and identity traps. Trying to overhaul your identity overnight, that's like trying to run before you can walk. It leads to burnout. Thinking you can force behavior change without changing how you see yourself, that usually fails fast. How to start shifting your identity. Pick one habit you want to build. Create an identity statement that fits it. Example, I'm a consistent exerciser, or I'm a lifelong learner. Every time you do the habit, remind yourself that you're living that identity. Say it out loud or in your head. I'm a reader when you pick up a book. Make it real. Imagine your goal is to start journaling. Instead of saying, "I want to journal daily," say, "I'm a writer." When you tell yourself that, journaling becomes part of who you are, not just a task on your to-do list. Quick challenge. Pause this video and write down your identity statement for one habit you want to build. Keep it positive, present tense, and personal. For example, I am a healthy eater, or I am a focused learner. Then, for the next week, every time you do that habit, say your statement to yourself. See how it changes your mindset? That's the power of identity-based habits. It's not just about doing differently, it's about being different. Next up, we're diving into the actual science of habits, the habit loop. We'll break down how habits form, how to hack them, and how to flip bad habits to good ones. Ready to geek out? Let's go. Lesson 3. The habit loop, cue, craving, response, reward. All right. So now that we've talked about systems and identity, let's break down the actual mechanics behind every habit you have. James Clear explains this super well with what he calls the habit loop for simple parts: cue, craving, response, and reward. First up, the cue. This is the trigger, the thing that starts the habit. It could be anything: a time of day, a place, a feeling, or even another action. Example, maybe you always grab your phone when you sit down on the couch after work. The couch sitting is your cue. Next, the craving. This is the motivation behind the habit. It's not the habit itself, but the desire to change your state. When you pick up your phone, you're craving connection, entertainment, or maybe just a break from boredom. Then comes the response. This is the habit or action you take: the scrolling on Instagram, drinking a cup of coffee, or opening your journal. Last, the reward. This is what your brain gets out of it, the feel-good part. Maybe you get entertained, feel relaxed, or satisfy a curiosity. The reward tells your brain, "Hey, this was worth it," and encourages you to repeat the habit. Now here's the cool part. If you want to build a new habit or break an old one, you just need to mess with one of these 4 parts. Let's break that down with examples. Example 1, building a reading habit. Cue. You place a book on your pillow every morning. Craving. You want to relax or learn something new before bed. Response. You read a chapter. Reward. You feel calm, satisfied, and maybe even proud. That cue, the book on your pillow, is a little reminder that triggers your craving and habit. Example 2, breaking a bad habit like excessive phone use. Cue. Your phone buzzes with a notification. Craving. You want a distraction or social connection. Response. You pick up your phone and scroll endlessly. Reward. You feel entertained, but maybe also a bit guilty later. To break this habit, you can remove or change the cue. For instance, turn off notifications or put your phone in another room during work hours. Without the cue, the loop can't start. Quick tip: you don't have to fight cravings head-on. Instead, change your environment or your routine to disrupt the loop. Example 3. Habit stacking, a neat trick from the book. Say you want to meditate but struggle to remember or start. You can stack the habit onto an existing one. It's like right after you brush your teeth, you sit down to meditate for 2 minutes. Your existing habit, brushing teeth, acts as the cue for the new habit. Why does this loop work so well? Because your brain is wired to seek rewards and avoid pain. Once it learns a behavior leads to a reward, it's more likely to repeat it. Common mistakes: ignoring the cue and trying to power through with willpower alone. Not having clear rewards. So your brain isn't motivated to repeat the habit. Quick exercise. Try to identify one habit you want to build or break. Write down the cue, craving, response, and reward. Then brainstorm how you can tweak one or more parts to make it easier or harder. All right, that's the habit loop fully unpacked. Next up, environment design. How your surroundings are secretly shaping your habits more than you think. Lesson 4. Make good habits easy, bad habits hard. All right. Here's a truth that most people miss. Your environment shapes your habits way more than your willpower does. Like, way more. James Clear calls this environment design. It's about tweaking your space so the right habits become automatic. The bad ones require way more effort. Think about this. Why is it easier to snack when junk food is sitting right on your kitchen counter, but harder when it's tucked away in a high cabinet? It's not just about self-control. It's about cues in your environment. Example 1. Want to drink more water? Keep a bottle on your desk, in your car, wherever you spend time. The easier it is to do, the more likely you are to actually do it. Example 2. Trying to cut down on phone distractions? Put your phone on silent and in another room while working. No cues equals no habit starting. Example 3. Want to read more? Keep a book on your pillow or nightstand. The visual cue reminds you without you even thinking about it. Here's why environment design wins. Willpower is like a muscle, it gets tired. If your environment sets you up to fight off bad habits, you'll burn out fast. But if your space nudges you toward good habits, you don't need crazy willpower. Pro tip: start small. Don't overhaul your whole life overnight. Just change 1 or 2 things at a time. Example 4. Want to work out more? Lay your workout clothes out the night before. Seeing them first thing makes it easier to get moving. Challenge for you. Take 5 minutes today and scan your living or work space. What small changes can you make that make your good habits easier or your bad habits harder? Bonus hack: use temptation bundling. Pair something you want to do with something you have to do. Like, only listen to your favorite podcast while exercising. Suddenly, working out feels way more fun. Common mistakes: thinking you need massive motivation to change habits, when you really need the right environment. Underestimating how powerful your surroundings are at triggering habits. Remember, your environment is your silent habit coach. Set it up to cheer you on, not trip you up. Next up, we'll talk about how these small habits build on each other and compound over time. Secret to long-term success. Lesson 5. Habits compound over time. Okay, this one's super important because it's the secret sauce behind why those tiny habits actually matter in the long run. You might think doing 1 push-up a day or reading 1 page is nothing, but over time, these small actions pile up into something huge. Think about saving money. Putting aside just $1 every day doesn't feel like much, but after a year, boom, it's over $300, and with interest, even more. The same thing happens with habits. James Clear calls this the compound effect. It's like interest on a bank account, but for your behaviors. Little wins stack, grow, and eventually lead to massive life changes. Real-life example. Imagine you read just 10 pages a day. Doesn't sound like much, right? But that adds up to roughly 3,650 pages a year. That's like finishing about 12 to 15 books. Think of the knowledge, ideas, and inspiration you'd gain. Another example: you want to get fit, but doing an hour at the gym daily feels impossible. So you start with 5 minutes of movement each day. At first, it's tiny, but over weeks and months, you build stamina, strength, and motivation, turning into a full workout routine without even realizing it. Now, here's a little reality check. The results from Atomic Habits aren't always obvious in the beginning. Sometimes, it feels like you're putting in work with zero payoff. That's the tricky part. Habits don't usually make a big splash right away. But if you stick with it, they'll hit an inflection point where progress skyrockets. Like pushing a snowball down a hill, it starts small but grows bigger and faster. Common mistake: people give up too soon. They expect instant results and lose motivation when it doesn't happen. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Pro tip: track your habits, even the tiny ones. Seeing your streaks and progress can motivate you to keep going, especially when results feel slow. Quick exercise. Take a habit you want to build. Use a calendar or app to mark every day you do it, no matter how small the action. Celebrate consistency over perfection. When you trust this compounding process, you stop stressing about overnight success and instead build daily routines that take you where you want to go. Bonus: advanced habit strategies. Before we wrap up, let's get into some pro moves James Clear shares to level up your habit game. Habit stacking. Link a new habit to something you already do. Like, after you brush your teeth, meditate for 2 minutes. Easy to remember because it piggybacks on an existing routine. Temptation. Bundling. Combine something you want with something you need to do. Listen to your favorite podcast only while cleaning the house or exercising. Use habit tracking. Keep a visual record of your habits, like crossing off days on a calendar. It creates a streak and motivates you not to break it. Plan for setbacks. Accept that slip-ups happen and have a plan to get back on track without beating yourself up. Final recap and motivation. All right, fam, let's wrap it all up. Build strong systems, not just big goals. Change your identity, become the person who naturally does the habits you want. Understand your habit loops and tweak cues and rewards. Design your environment to make good habits easy and bad ones hard. Trust the compound. Affect small daily wins, build massive change. Remember, habit change isn't about one giant leap. It's about tiny steps, repeated day after day. Keep showing up, and the results will follow. If you take one thing from this video, it's this: your habits shape your life more than you realize. Start small, stay consistent, and be patient. Your future self will thank you. If this deep dive into Atomic Habits hit home, do me a favor and smash that like button. Subscribe to Lume for daily book wisdom. Drop a comment below telling me what tiny habit you're starting today. Share this video with a friend who needs to hear it. 2, because we're all in this glow-up journey together. Thanks for hanging with me. See you next video.